Hey, welcome to Cooking with the Pros. I'm Jen Heasley, and today I have a super duper star, but he's not an actual athlete. When you think Jerry Maguire, you think sports agent. So I'm fortunate enough to have Chafie Fields with me. He is a sports agent, but he's also a fellow Penn Stater, so that's why he's here, because PSU, we stick together. So I'm gonna start with an appetizer for Chafie, and what I'm gonna do is just some garlic shrimp, and we're gonna put that on a bed of romaine lettuce. And in my skillet, I already have my olive oil. I'm gonna add a little pat of butter. And I actually like to use the pre-cooked shrimp that you can get out of the frozen food section because it's just that much quicker to prepare. I'm gonna throw in basically a ½ pound of shrimp into my skillet. And I'm gonna season it up with, because we're going with kind of a Mexican theme today, or a Latino theme, where we're gonna be making some fish tacos. So I'm gonna season it with some sazon and some adobo. The first thing, I'm just gonna sprinkle on my adobo, lightly. You know, I invited Chafie here today because I really don't know about the world of sports agency, and I really don't know what it means to want to represent people, but he has agreed to come and share his knowledge with us, so I'm very excited about that. All right, and this is what your sazon will look like. You're gonna use a half packet, not a whole packet. I'm gonna shake it on. Thanks you. All right, so my shrimp is going, and the next part that we're gonna do is our sofrito, because we're gonna be making rice and peas later. And sofrito is actually the base of your rice and peas. So in my little mini blender, I have some peppers, onion, and cilantro. And I'm just gonna put this on, I'm gonna chop it up. I'm gonna start it, and then I'm gonna throw some olive oil into it. So we'll start. There we go. And now I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil in it for some consistency. Usually about ¼ cup of olive oil is what you want. All right. There we go. It's nicely mixed up. So my sofrito is ready, and in my pot where we're going to do the rice, I'm going to throw some diced onions into our olive oil. And after we saute our onions, we're going to throw in the rice, the water, the sazon, the adobo, and the sofrito, and we'll be able to make our rice and peas. So in a minute, I'm gonna come back. Chafie's gonna join me. He's gonna talk with us about agency, and he's gonna start with our appetizer, which is the garlic shrimp on top of a bed of iceberg lettuce. So we'll be right back. So welcome back to Cooking with the Pros. I'm Jen Heasley, and I am now here with my guest, Chafie Fields.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Chafie, as I said before, is a fellow Penn Stater, and he is now a sports agent. So Chafie's going to explain to us, number one, how you got to Penn State, and number two, how you got into the world of sports agency. But first, he's going to mix together our sauce for our fish tacos. And he has a ½ cup of sour cream, a ½ cup of mayonnaise, and this little spice mixture I have right here is a combination of paprika, red pepper flakes, some parsley, some salt. So you're going to mix all that together.
Penn State wasn't really, to me, at the time when I was coming out, a good fit.
Good.
Based on where I was coming from and the type of people that I was used to being around, the environment that I come from.
Okay.
When I visited Penn State, it wasn't necessarily a good fit for me. So it actually came down between Florida and Michigan. Oh. and I ended up signing.
Oh, did you?
With Michigan.
Did you really? Well, what made the trip to Michigan better than Penn State? Just the...
I can't talk about that on camera.
Okay, we won't talk about the difference between Michigan and Penn State. Okay,
but you know what? I can talk about the similarities. Actually, both the campuses are a lot alike. The programs, obviously, were both, traditional programs, year-round, great programs, great history, great traditions.
Right.
Michigan, to me, was a better fit. Not only that, but the coaches made a kind of promise to me that coming into the school, as a freshman, I was starting.
Right.
And even though it wasn't the position that I wanted to play, but I was going to start. So that was a selling point.
I mean, I understand that would be a selling point, because who wants to go to school sit on the bench, basically? Right? You want to start, you want to be the star. You want to be the star?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. While we're explaining this, okay, so Chafie's mixing. I just want to tell you what I have here. So we're starting our rice and peas to go along with our fish tacos. So I already did, basically sauteed some white onion, and I threw in our sofrito. Again, remember, the sofrito was the pepper, onion, and cilantro mixture. And you can actually make this a couple days ahead. You can make it, some people actually freeze it and then I could throw it into food later, but I didn't freeze this, just pre-made. And I put in a packet of, again, the sazon, and I'm gonna sprinkle in about a 1/4 cup of the adobo and add our rice and our water. And we're gonna bring it to a boil for about 10 minutes, and then we'll reduce it to simmer. Okay, so keep going.
Long story short, some things happened at home.
Okay.
And I wanted to stay close to home.
I understand.
So it was either Timberwolves was a no-no. You know, it was Rutgers, which at the time wasn't a very good program.
Right. And still so close to Philly at that
I
point.
wanted to stay close to home. So Penn State actually was coming off an undefeated season. And so I called Coach Paterno, asked him if that scholarship was still available. He said yes. That's how I ended up in Hempstead.
So Joe Paquet, okay. So you just called Joe and said, is that space available for me?
Absolutely.
And Joe was cool with that?
Well, you know, I wasn't a shabby player. You know, I was a pretty good athlete.
Shabby
You know what I
player.
mean? In high school, I was All-American.
Oh, wonderful.
Consensus. So I was a pretty good athlete coming out of high school.
Okay, so Joe wanted himself. And what year did you come out of high school?
I came out of high school in '95.
Okay, so, all right, well, Chafie and I are gonna come right back in a second. He's gonna do the coleslaw for our fish tacos. He's actually gonna taste our appetizer, the garlic shrimp. We're gonna bring our rice to a boil, and we'll start with the tilapia for our fish tacos. So we'll be right back with Cooking with the Pros.